So this would be Monday, September 22nd, advanced class. We're going to be taking a look at a poem called Living Tenderly, about living and being tender. Tomorrow, we get to impact learning tomorrow. And we're going to do more with the magic lens. And we're going to do 2 sentences as opposed to 1 sentence. And the sentences are going to be tougher. And they're going to deal with word types that we've not done yet. So it'll be all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be raining knowledge on you. And then Wednesday, we're going to take a look at an article about being cool. Is it an article about you, Mr. Brovicast? No, but it should be. And then Thursday is our tech day, so bring your technology. And then Friday is your poetry quiz. Once again, my goal is that you're going to be able to read a poem and then figure out stuff from the poems. We're going to practice today with our poem, Living Tenderly, blah, blah. Information up there, people playing the home game. And this is the wrong one, because that's for my regular kids, and you guys are advanced, and we're doing it at home. I'm just going to talk quietly to myself while I set this up.
Oh my gosh,
There we go. Before we get a chance to begin, D, first question, D, what's the stanza?
Paragraph and poem.
Nicely done. How do we know when a stanza ends? Still D.
Oh, because there's a space.
Nicely done. And how many stanzas in our poem, Living Tenderly? Still D. Yes, looking at it would definitely help.
2.
Nicely done. So we have a total of 2 stanzas. On this one, once again, it's going to be a speaker poem. Ooh, gonna back up. Saddle. What is a speaker in a poem?
The person telling the story.
So like if I were to read it out loud. What was that?
From their point of view.
Nicely done. So it's like a first person one, so you're being told from that character's point of view. On this one, once again, we have a speaker poem. We have to try and figure out who the speaker is without ever telling us. So when you get excited and figure it out, don't just blurt it out and tell us. We're going to once again find the clues to help us find who the speaker might be. And much like a delicious chocolate chip cookie, this one is going to be full of similes and metaphors. If similes and metaphors were chocolate chips. So it's like a big metaphor in and of itself. If this poem were a cookie, and similes and metaphors were chocolate chips, this metaphor would be delicious.
Okay.
Hopefully you followed me on.
I kind of.
But back to here. Did I have a question? Did you want to read?
Yeah.
Alright. Did I tell you guys about this thing versus this thing before?
What?
Alright. Well, because I taught my first grade, I told you guys yet. So I can tell the difference between when you have a question and then if you're wanting to read. Anytime you're wanting to read, you just put your hand like that, and that way I can tell the difference. Then if you want to ask a question, you just do that. So it's like when you're raise your hand and then get tired. It's like I can tell the difference between I'm confused and I want to read. So that way I can know the difference, makes things easier on me. So yes, that tell me that you'd like to read. So that way I can look real quick so that no one has questions, and then I can go to the Vista heads and know who wants to read. Tendai, do you want to read?
Yes.
Alright, go for it.
My body a rounded stone with a pattern of smooth seams. My head a short snake, retractive, projective. My legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within, and so does my chin. My eyelids are quick clamps.
Nicely done. I'll read it through real quick, and then once again we're going to start finding similes and metaphors because there's a lot of them. My body a rounded stone with a pattern of smooth seams. My head a short snake, retractive, projective. My legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within, and so does my chin. My eyelids are quick clamps. Our first simile and or metaphor that's in there. Sammy?
What?
Hi.
My body a rounded stone.
Similar metaphor. Comparing. There it is.
Wow.
It wasn't working,
Cool.
sorry. You said it was a simile? Metaphor, just seeing how I could trick you. Comparing what 2 things?
The body and the rounded stone.
Nicely done. There it is. So you have the body being a rounded stone. Now the question is, why are we comparing the body to a rounded stone? Why not say my body is a dough ball or my body is a water balloon? Any idea why they pick rounded stone?
Because they're smooth.
But water balloons are smooth. That's very honest. This was just checking. Tori? was my guess too, because stones are hard, so you get to pick one. So you have the idea of it being the hard thing. And it says as a pattern of smooth seams. Do you know what seams are? What are seams? Caleb?
Oh, it is where you tie. It's in your clothes where
Yes.
you use a thread and it holds it together.
Nice one. It's where the two things come together and it forms a little seam. That's a wonderful picture here. And so they're saying that his body, as opposed to being just all one smooth thing, it has seams all through it. Seams. So it has seams that all go through it. It looks something like that. So body around a stone, pattern of smooth seams. Ooh, more similes and or metaphors. Aubrey?
My head a short snake.
Similar metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
Did you say it's a metaphor?
It's a metaphor.
No, okay, just checking. Metaphor. Oh, come back. There you go. Comparing what two things?
The head and a snake.
Nice one. Now, my next question will be, why are we comparing the head to a short snake? Before we can figure it out, we have to know what these two words mean, because that's going to tell you more about the head and snake thing. Retractive, projective. Victor?
Retractive means like it can go back, and projective means it can shoot out.
Nice one. Retract means to pull in like the landing gear on a plane. When they go up, the landing gear come in, and then when it wants to land, they come out. No, just like you have during speeches, you have to project your voice. Project your voice. Okay! And projecting is where you're forcing it out. Retracting is to pull back. Like if you're like, oh, your hair looks like a snake threw up. I mean, not like a snake and you try to pull it back. That's retracting. You're like, I don't mean it like a snake threw up. I mean like it looks like snakes. No, that's not. And you keep trying to pull it back. That's retracting. My question is, why are we now going back to Aubrey's, saying my head, a short snake? What are we trying to say the speaker's head can do? What magical abilities does the head possess? Annan? It moves. Correct? How does it move? Would you like to act it out? Nicely done. And so, if you have the little head, the head can go and goes back and forth. So it can wait. Tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle. And so the head can come in and out just like that. And then it goes from there and says, my legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within, and so does my chin. Telling us what? Kobe?
That everything goes into its body.
Nicely done. That they can all hide inside of the big soccer ball rock. Tickle, tickle, roar, tickle, tickle, roar. And so not only can the head come in, but the legs can do the exact same thing. Any more similes or metaphors that we're going to have in there? Yana?
The last sentence, my eyelids are quick clamps.
Similar metaphor.
Metaphor.
Nicely done. Wait, you know what clamps are? That's very honest. That was just... Yes, Victor?
You go
Right, clapping one-handed.
no, they can close like that.
These things.
Macayuan?
It's like those. I know they're called binder clips, but it's like
Binder clamps?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the things that right there on the. Those of you at home, you can't see, but they're right next to you. And so those little things like wait, tickle, tickle, like that. And so you have the little clamps that look just like that, so they clamp shut. So back to Yana, what two things are being compared?
The eyelids and the clamps.
Now, why would we compare the eyelids to clamps? What can they do?
Open and shut.
Yeah, probably very tightly. I don't think you can probably hold something in there and pinch it, but it's the idea that whatever it does, it closes really well. I don't think it necessarily goes quickly. They're not hummingbird eyelids, but that was an interesting interpretation. Stanza. There we go. Stanza dose! And then we can keep going from there. So many head punches. Sure, Eddie, go for it.
My back is my room. I am always at home. I travel where my house walks. It is a smooth stone. It floats within the lake or rests in the dust. My flesh lives tenderly inside its bone.
Nicely done. My back is my roof. I am always at home. I travel where my house walks. It is a smooth stone. It floats within the lake or rests in the dust. My flesh lives tenderly inside its bone. We have more similes and metaphors that are going to be in there. Hey, Clark, go for it.
My back
back is my roof.
Simile or metaphor?
Metaphor.
Comparing what two things?
Back and the roof.
And so, what is that telling us about him if he says, my back is my roof?
It's like, because it gives you shelter, like a roof gives you shelter.
Nicely done. So he's basically homeless. He's a hobo. And so it's the idea that his back is going to protect him like a hobo who's always wandering around. I'm always at home. I travel where my house walks. It's not really a metaphor. It's just... It's basically, he's a big walking house the entire time. Once again, he's a hobo. We do have more similes and or metaphors that are good. Sure, Rita, what did you see? You're right. It is a tough one. I was proud of you volunteering on that one. It does use a pronoun. I know, that's what made it tough. Good job. You're right, it is in the fourth line. I didn't see that at first.
Okay. It is a smooth stone.
Are you asking me?
It is a smooth stone.
Oh, good job. Nicely done. Is that a similar metaphor?
It's a metaphor.
No. Are you asking me?
It's a metaphor.
Good job. Why are we comparing the two things together? Now, hang on. Let's back up. What are the two things we're comparing together? One of them is easy.
A smooth stone.
Good job. Now you're starting to sound scared. It's because you realize the other one is a pronoun, and obviously it can't be a pronoun. So you have to figure out what the it is referring to, which requires you to read further up in the poem to figure out what that it is referring to.
House, shelf, and...
Nice with shelf. There's no mention of a shell in there. But house, nicely done. And so it's comparing the house to a smooth stone. And why are we comparing his house to a smooth stone? What they have in common?
How is it a he?
I'm still talking. What's that?
A
And?
stone. And hard.
Nicely done. And the fact that they're both hard, floats in the lake, rests in the dust, my flesh lived tenderly inside. And the rest is not similar to metaphors. Just when it says, wait, do you guys know what flesh is? Yay. What is flesh, Carol Sue?
It's something that you like eat your skin.
Nicely done. It's the gooey bits of you. And so they're saying here that his gooey bits lives inside the bone. Your gooey bits don't live inside your bone. Your gooey bits live outside your bone. Because that's why if I were to take you and throw you off a building, you would go kersplat, and then your bone would be outside the gooey bits. And so that's the difference. Yes, I can hear you losing points from here. And so that will help you out. With this, the idea of who the speaker is, I hear differing opinions. And Sammy?
Wait, say it.
Uh-huh.
A turtle?
I've heard turtle and I've heard crab. My question is, can you prove either one of them using evidence from the poem? You're right. This is kind of a metaphor. We're not dead on to a metaphor. Great.
It says the lake and crabs are in the ocean.
Typically, crab. There might be a few freshwater crabs, but mostly they're in the ocean. I'd agree with that. Kayla?
Well, it says that, first of all, his, like, shell is, like, a round stone, and it has, like, seams in it, and, like, turtle shells, they have, like little shaping thingies in their shells, so it looks like there's seams in between it, and so that's why crabs is totally out.
Oh my God.
Totally. Abby?
Okay, this is kind of off topic. When it said seams, I kind of thought zombie.
Yes. No. Jackson?
Well, because it's kind of obvious since crab's arms and legs can't go inside of it.
Okay, what was that? The crab's legs?
Yeah.
They kind of do. They fold underneath like little landing gear on like a UFO.
Side of him,
They don't go all the way inside. All right, I'll give you that one. Mike Ewan?
So a crab, like you eat crab, it's deliciousness. Anyway, crab, they have like the, you rip off the claw and then you use the claw and like you eat it or whatever. It's kind of like a seam. This is like connected and then like the seams. So like with the seams, it could be a turtle or a crab.
Okay. Mia? Turtles go... Does that mean into a ball? Is that the retracting and projecting part? Ah, gotcha, with the retracting. And not bad. We're going to do a little bit with this tomorrow, and then we're going to move on to a new one. But we're going to take a look at a few more bits of evidence, however. scary.
Can I see what it was?
What is it?
It said its head was a snake. It said its head was a snake.
Not bad.